Good afternoon, everybody. It is meteorologist Ace Weather Forecast, and welcome back to another weather update. So, guys, this is actually going to be an update now on Tropical Storm Alvin. Yes, it is confirmed. It is a tropical storm, the first tropical storm we've seen in the Pacific this year so far. So, just 2 hours ago, it was actually a tropical depression just 2 hours ago, and then it changed to a tropical storm just like that. And I actually thought it was going to turn there because it was getting a lot more organized. So guys, if you guys want to know all the new updates for Tropical Storm Alvin, the impacts, the tracks, and everything, that'll be all coming right up. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to be taking a look at is a 5-day graphical tropical weather outlook. So as you can tell, we do have that that tropical storm symbol right there. And you see it does say Alvin there, the first named storm we've had in the Pacific. And if you guys are wondering why we do have a yellow circle kind of looking like shape right behind this, it was because we actually have another system right behind Alvin to form in the next couple of days. We did see that in the vorticity. We saw that in my last video, how there's a other big system right after Alvin. But right now, it's a 20% chance. We're not going to be focusing on that. That can get bigger later in the next couple of days. But we're going to be focusing on Alvin. So let's take a look at all the details with Alvin. So right now, we do have the maximum wind at 40 miles per hour, which just fits that tropical storm. What you need for a tropical storm, 1,005 millibars. So it is getting a bit stronger and more organized. And then you can see it is moving 14 miles per hour to the west. It's not too fast, but it's also not super slow. So it is moving at a good pace for a tropical storm. So you can tell it's going to be going to the direction to go spill out into the central part of the Pacific. But again, it's not going to be really affecting land, well, not that we know of yet. Now we're going to be taking a look at the satellite imagery now to see how organized it is. So it actually did change a lot since the last 3 hours since I last uploaded my video. So you see that when we were doing my video, it was like this. It was like looking like a hurricane from out there. But now you can really see these outer bands. Now, like right now, you can really see these outer bands more than the central part. You still see the central part. It is getting the middle part of the storm is really getting a less organized, but the outer part is, you can really see these outer bands where you see these very strong thunderstorms surrounding it next to that major part for the tropical storm. So you can really see it's starting to look like one. But again, it's not going to be a tropical storm for that long. It's really only going to stay here for only a couple hours, and then it's going to go back to a depression. So you're not going to see this get really formed. Maybe a 20% chance of this getting to a hurricane, a category 1. But again, even if it is, no big deal. It's not going to hit land, or again, it can still change, but the majority of the models are showing going straight. So this is looking like right now. Again, we see the outer band starting to form. So now we're going to be taking a look at the we're going to be looking at the cone and the timing. So as you can see, these S's stand for storm, which is for another way to say tropical storm. So you can see at 9 a.m. it was actually right here. Now it's getting up to right here. You can see how fast it did move in just the past couple hours. So now, if we're going to be looking at 6 a.m. tomorrow, it does move I'll say maybe 100 miles, or maybe even 200 miles. Not really sure how long this will, how long the distance is, but it does move again 14 miles per hour to the west. And it's not going to be a tropical storm that long. It's going to start to end, or it's going to stop being a tropical storm around Friday. So again, not a tremendous amount of time. And then it does turn to a depression by Saturday. And this cone that does have the gray color inside here, this is from the next 1 to 3 days. If you look right here, the potential track area. So this cone area, this thing you see, that's the potential track area. And then the color is for 1 to 3 days. And then the transparent is for 4 to 5 days. So based on this, it can come all the way to here in just around 4 to 5 days, which is actually not even that bad. So guys, so this is what it's looking like right here. So sorry if you guys hear car honking, I really don't know what that is. But we do see this tropical storm be here till Friday. So yeah, that's what it's looking like here. Now we're going to be taking like at the actually track models. So we did see the cone, but we're going to be taking a look at all these models here, where they're all showing going either to the east, straight, or west. So you can tell this little dot you hear right here, that's actually where it is right now. To see all the models are agreeing of coming this one little area. So this was looking like right here for the just next couple hours, and by the next couple days it gets right here. This is what we really need to look for right here, because some models are showing it turning to the east, potentially hitting the Mexico area, just potentially, and then some are showing going straight. I do believe this will be correct of them going straight forward. As we look at the vorticity and all that, it does just so continuing going off into parts of this, moving in more into the Pacific, and then some models do show going into the west, like the UK model. That's one of those that are showing going to the west. So we do need to figure out where this is going to go. We do have a lot of models, so at this point we cannot look at this right now. We can't look at this right now and decide where they're gonna go. But I would say 80% chance of the tropical storm Alvin is gonna go straight. But we can be sure on this part of it's going straight right now. But by the next 2 days, we need to still watch out. We do not know exactly where it's gonna be going. So now we're going to be taking a look at the intensity guidance. You see here this is the wind in knots, and then this is the hours, forecast hour. So you see in the next 48 hours, or sorry, the next 36 hours, we're going to be getting our strongest winds. All the models are showing getting our at least our strongest winds here. Strongest will be the HWFI is showing it actually getting up to 60 knots, very close to reaching that category 1 force winds. And then the majority of the models are showing it getting to tropical storm winds up to 45 knots, so very close to 55 knots and 50 knots. And then by the next 72 hours, which is 3 days, this should not be a tropical storm anymore. It should just be either it's just going to be just some thunderstorms, not going to be it will be depression just for a couple hours, not even going to be that long. In my opinion, it's not going to be depression when it goes back. I would think it's going to be depression for maybe a day at most, and then it's just going to turn into really nothing. So again, I would say a good, so you can tell it's going to, right now, from 0 to around 72 hours is the deadline. 72 hours of it stopping being a tropical storm. 3 days is a good run, and then it's going to go back to either being depression for a little bit and then going back to just some thunderstorms. Now we're going to be taking a look at the vorticity, and after the vorticity, we're just going to be taking a look at the quick models or the quick radar, and then we're going to be done. So in the next 6 hours, you can actually tell we do have some good rotation, looking really nice and clean right there. Some nice rotation, so you can see that's why it's really looking like a tropical storm. Again, not looking like a hurricane though. And then by the next 30 to 36 hours is where we get to our strongest point. So tomorrow is looking like we can have our strongest point around at the nighttime tomorrow. You can see we do have that area that gets to that like 45 to 50 knots. Not looking like we're going to get to more than 60 knots. And then the next 48 hours, looks like it does go back. In the next 48 to 54 hours, it goes back to depression, less organized, less winds there. And then by the next 78 to 72 hours, it does go away. And then you do see our next system coming in. That's where we do have that 20% chance. It's right here. That can potentially be something really we need to look at there very far. I want to look at that later on, and maybe depending when this really does form. But we're going to be taking a look at Alvin first. So the last thing we're going to be looking at is the radar, or what we need to look at for you guys can follow up how much rain that could be in this. So you can tell right now it actually is right here. It's a big blob. You see that center right there, those very strong storms there, that wall that's just going to be pounding some very heavy rain. It does get to 1,006 millibars by tomorrow. Starts to weaken, and then it gets to that point to 1,007 millibars. It is now at this point a depression by 1,007 millibars. That's usually what you don't want to see there for a tropical storm. And then this is our next system coming in. But again, guys, not really much to look at the radar. It does get to 1,005 though, so that's going to be the next 24 hours. So that's where we look at our strongest point there. It does get to it, then back to 1,006, and then it goes up, and then it just turns into a thunderstorm, a tropical thunderstorm, what you want to call it there. Not going to be much trouble to be looking at right there, really. And last, we're going to be looking at the CMC. So right now, it is the CMC showing at 1,007 millibars, bringing in some inland rains possible in those coastal areas. Some rain there. It's going to have that tropical rain near that Cancun area too. Then by later on tomorrow, we're gonna get to 1,006 millibars. It's gonna peak into the very close area when it's just gonna end being a tropical storm. Then it does get to 1,007 millibars. That's where we're gonna end there. And then at 1,009 millibars, there it is weakened a lot. If you get to 1,009 millibars from 1,005, you do see that weaken. And then just by that, it does end. It's just gonna be tropical thunderstorm again. This is the next system we are looking for. Look at that, 1,004 millibars. That is looking real interesting there. And look, at 998 millibars. That's looking like a Category 1 right there, guys. But it's very far. Oops, did not mean to do that. But this looks like our next system that can really be bad right here. Look at that, 1,004 millibars. But that's going to be our next system. But I'm really hyped out for that, guys. After Alvin, listen, Tropical Storm Alvin is not a big deal, really. It's not going to be hitting inland. Even if it does, it's going to be a very low impact. Just some rain. Not really much. So that's why I'm really excited about this, because this can potentially be the first hurricane we've seen for the Atlantic and Pacific. So for the hurricane seasons, both of them, this would be the first hurricane. So we really need to watch out for this, guys. I'm really hyped up for this. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm hoping to have a video out for this next system after Alvin. But again, still watch out for Alvin, because it could potentially, there's a 10% chance I'll save it turning hurricane. But again, guys, just gotta watch out for Alvin. We still don't know exactly where it's gonna go. But yeah, stay safe everyone, and see you guys in the next video. And please not forget to like and subscribe.